out here dealing with these extraterrestrials. Wait. I'm trying to think of something he would say. See, over here hacking the database. We got to. Man, look. Son, run. Run. Worm. All right, I'm done. I'm done. So, this is the bad guy himself, Kenny. And I am reviewing the movie War of the Worlds. So the way we do things here, I rate these movies out of 5. 0 being the absolute lowest, 5 being the highest. Now, for this movie, I'm just gonna break it down real quick. So this movie soundtrack, soundtrack is, I mean, it's a soundtrack. Like, there's a couple songs in there that was like, okay, it was cool, but nothing really stands out. Like, oh my gosh, this soundtrack's fire. Because usually with soundtracks, they help move the plot along, and it gives you a sense of like where you're at time wise, especially if you're going back in time, or it's just the way you get the certain feeling for the scene. This movie doesn't really have that. It just kind of has just a random song here and there, which, like I said, it's not really there like that. Another thing, this movie must have been made during COVID. I don't know for sure. Let me look that up real quick. It's the War of the Worlds, Craig. Tell me one person in the government that play like that. So the movie got a 2.6 out of 10. Golly. All right. I'm trying to see when it was made. Filmed the summer and fall of 2020 under COVID-19 protocols. That makes so much sense. So yeah, I had a feeling. I was like, let me look. Yeah. So with this movie, let me get into it real quick. This movie is a very, 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 very low budget movie. It seems like a family member of Ice Cube was like, "Hey, I got a school project. I got an idea, and I would love if you started it." And he was like, "Anything for my family." That's what this felt like. This movie was very, very, very low budget. Like the aliens in this movie, like I said, it really feels like a school project. The script is very very predictable. I'll say that as well too. The plot twist that they have in there is just like, okay. It's like, all right. It just see, and it's very, very convenient. I'll say that too. Um, should I get into spoilers? I'm gonna say one more thing before I get into the spoilers. Um, like I said, the act. It is another thing too. Before like get into the spoilers or anything like that, when you have a movie like where you are restricted, you are stuck to one location. I feel like with certain movies, I feel like with certain movies like this movie where you're in one location the entire time, you have to have a top notch actor in this role. No respect to Ice Cube. Ice Cube, I apologize, but Ice Cube is not the greatest actor. Ice Cube is somebody who he's not a, I don't want to say serviceable. He's just pretty much you get him for certain roles. You need a tough guy. That's what you use. You use because he's always scowling no matter what. He's just give me the goddamn database. Give me the hard drive so we can get us out of here. Like you gotta you gotta talk like an aggressive version of Goofy. We impersonate him. But when you have someone like that in your movie, like I said, they don't really, you can't, like, they have scenes where a normal, like, let's say they have Forrest Whitaker do this role. Forrest Whitaker, to me, is one of the greatest actors I've ever seen do it. Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith. You can restrict them to one area, like how I'm doing right now, and they can hold your attention. I will say that about this movie. This movie does hold your attention. As bad as a movie it is, it does hold your attention. I've seen some bad movies where I was like, man, let me turn this shit off because this is like, I'm bored. But this was kind of like, it still held my attention. This movie, like I said, with Ice Cube, is a very charismatic person, but like I said, he's not the greatest actor. And like I said, with this movie, you would need a higher a higher, more reputable actor for this kind of scene, which will cause for like, oh my god, where you have to use your gestures, the facial expressions to really convey that you are sad or you're angry or you're happy or just like certain things like that. He can't do that because every face is, come on, son, get out of there. What you this is the whole movie, by the way. It's just him typing. For some reason, listen, I don't care that he's working as like the world spy, like he can spy on anything going on, see what everything's going on. I don't care about none of that. He didn't make not one typo this entire movie. I will say that. That's spoilers aside, he doesn't make not one typo this entire movie. He's just everything's absolutely. I'm hacking the internet's database now. Like, it's just like everything he says is like that. But yeah. So without spoiling anything, out of 5, I'm giving this movie a 1. I think with this movie, because like I said, it's very, very predictable, very, very convenient. It's to the point where it's kind of tongue in cheek. And like I said, it's very like you can tell somebody had an idea. They're like, yeah, let's talk about the government's corruption and things like that. It's just like, all right. It's like that kind of thing. You just like, okay, you got government corruption, aliens, and you got one person who can't really do anything because they're stuck in this room. And they're trying to help out everybody at the same time while being stuck in this room. But like I said, I give it a 1 out of 5. Now we'll say, spoiler alert, you got 10 seconds before I start spoiling. This is the time. If you want to leave now, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. 'Cause I'm about to spoil it. All right. So now we're spoiling it. Okay. So the sun being the disruptor, it was kind of like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was predictable because me and my dad watched it together and it was very predictable. That part was predictable. This is the part that pissed me off. It's one thing to have like, oh, we all work together to stop whatever the villain is or whatever it is. It was way too convenient that he has a son who just happens to be pretty much, the group was like anonymous. Like, that group that was like hacking everything and everything. It's like that. And it's like you have a group like that and he's running it pretty much, of course. He's trying to talk to his dad. His dad is like, man, I'm trying to do this. He's trying to help him throughout the whole movie, but he's like, son, I'm trying to do something right now. He's just trying to help him. And he really is like the head of this organization that's trying to take down the government. So you got that. Like I said, this was way too convenient. You got him. You got the daughter who just happens to be this like scientist who works on DNA and just happens to be able to, look like she excels at that. Then you got someone who works in NASA, Eva Longoria's character. Happens to work in NASA, and she just happens to be able to help with that portion of it. Then you got the son-in-law who is pretty much, oh, we UPS, we can be able to deliver through anything, and it was just like, and they had to work together at the end, and it was just everything just happened, and then you got the dad who's trying to run in there, it was just too damn convenient. And when it was happening, I was like, okay. And then the whole video game scene where they're like shooting down it was just like, and the reason why I don't give it a full on 0 out of 5, because first of all, I'll never give a movie a full on 0 because it's a movie. You got to get some kind of point because it was made. Like, but I would say the lowest I could get, like the lowest, I said the lowest I give a movie is probably 0.25. This isn't the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. No, it's not. It's up there. It's pretty bad. When I saw the trailer, I saw how bad the CGI looked. I was like, golly, this looks like somebody's art project. This looks like something I made. Like I figured it out. I was like, okay, bet. And I'm like, hey, I'm coming to get. This is like the first few stages. It's like we're watching a movie that wasn't fully finished yet. Is what it felt like. This is like the rough draft of a movie, and it's like y'all didn't add everything you need to add yet. And that's what this movie felt like. A rough draft to an even bigger movie. And you had Ice Cube just happened to be there. He was like, okay, I'll help y'all and show y'all how it's gonna look. And before we get our actual actor. And I will say the best actor in this movie is the daughter. And I swear the son or the son-in-law is from Saw, I want to say 5. I think it's Saw 5 where they had the it's not a spoiler alert. They had at one point they had to kill the guy and he was on live or die. I swear that's him. He's just older. Let me look him up real quick. Sorry if I'm just give me a little bit of dead air for like 2 seconds while I look this up. Cause I swear this is him. What's his name? I'll do it like this. So his name is Devin Bostick. It might not be him. It might not be him. It might not be him. Let's go Saw 6. It is him. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was him. I knew it was tripping. Okay. But yeah, he like I said, I would say him and then the daughter were the best actors. The son, he didn't really have to do much. Just be like, hey dad, listen, dad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dad. That was in the movie. Dad, you understand, man. It's this Goliath program. Like, but yeah, I just think this movie could have been done a lot better. I feel like they needed this feels like somebody, like I said, this feels like somebody worked on it in college or in high school, and they like, I got this premise, I got this script, I want to get off the ground, and it wasn't fully perfected yet. It just felt like it was like, okay, we got a nice idea here. There's all the world's conspiracies back in the day happen to be linked, and aliens are trying to come for aliens coming for the data, coming for all that. But if I had to say, does it have any replay value? It's not something I would go back and rewatch. Like rewatchability is where I look for some replay value, but rewatchability, it's not a it's not a good movie. Again, this is something that you like, especially if you have like a group of friends and you guys need something to watch on a Friday night. Watch this. It's a fun movie. It's, like I said, it's not a boring movie, so it's not a terrible movie that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm bored by this movie. You're all in. Like you will be all in. You're watching it like, okay. But it's just the CGI, and then you got the people like, and then like I said, you can tell it's they don't have the money for it, so you just see like, and you see like the feed cut out. That's how you know they died, stuff like that. It's just like, all right, guys. But like I said, it was a fun movie. This is one of the movies where I knew it was gonna be bad going in because I already saw the trailer. I try not to watch trailers before I watch the movie because some movies that they try to get you to watch it, they show big, especially like a horror movie, they show some of the best jump scares. It's like, dang, I really wish I didn't see that because I'd be pleasantly surprised when I watch the movie. And that's why I'm glad I didn't see Smile. I didn't see the trailer for Smile first. I'm glad I just kind of jumped right in and watched Smile, the first Smile. Because if I saw that trailer, I would have been ready for it. But that scene, there's one scene in Smile that had me like, oh, I jumped something vicious. But it was a scene they showed in the trailer, and I'm glad I didn't see that because I would have been like, I already know what's happening here. But that scene made me jump. I did not expect that at all. But yeah, like I said, again, I give it a 1 out of 5. Not the greatest movie. Ice Cube, I'll give you respect for trying for I will give you props for keeping a movie together that you are sitting in front of a monitor the entire time and just trying to be like, come on, son, you gotta get out of there. Come on, run, son. Like I gotta give you props for that. I do gotta give you props for that because to sit there in front of a monitor the whole time and trying to hold it down, and that's why I said to. That's why I said you need a more seasoned, better actor. Like you need an actor that can really do more. And like I always said, this movies like this, movies where they play multiple personalities is what I meant to say earlier. I don't know if I said it earlier, but I think those two movies where you have a limited location or you're having one person play different, they're doing different accents, they're acting differently. They're like, you got your split. There's one movie I saw where the guy, I think it was called like 16 faces or 16 bodies or 16 voices, something like that. It was like a horror movie where the guy had like 16 souls, I think, 13 souls or something like that, where he had these different souls in him and he's acting like and like he's acting like different people the whole time. Like those kind of movies when you got somebody playing different characters, they're jumping around doing us like those are movies you need great actors that can do that. Like I said, I love Ice Cube. I do love Ice Cube. I love Ice Cube's music. Top 15 for me. But they should have casted somebody else. But like I said, I will give him his props because I was all in the entire time. They had me not on the edge of my seat. I go do all that. I go give that much credit. Like, oh, so I had me on the edge of my seat. Nah, I was just into it. I was just like, okay, let's see where they go from here. But yeah, I just felt like the plot was very, very predictable, very convenient. The plot twists weren't really twisting like that. Um, Not really the best actors you can find for a movie. I mean, well, they had some randomly good actors thrown in there, and it just felt like how y'all get these actors to be in this movie? Like, but yeah, I will say check it out. At this point, I'm beating the dead horse. Like I said, go watch it for yourself. I just recommend watching it for the laugh. Don't take it too seriously. Just kind of enjoy it for what it is. A silly movie that everybody's meme watching. But I'm gonna end it right there. Keep that thing tight.